Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan and this video is gonna be a review of one of my absolute favorite affordable foundation. This one is the Mass High Coverage Foundation. I know you guys would be wondering, like, haven't you mentioned about this foundation quite a few times on your channel already? Yes, I did, but right now I have all the shades from this range with me, so I thought I will swatch it for you guys. I will show you guys a full wear test and then you can decide which shade matches you and all of that, and you can see my full-fledged review about these products. So I've already prepped my skin. Let's get started. First up, the packaging of this foundation is amazing. It comes in a frosted glass bottle like this and a nice cap. It comes with a pump. This one really looks luxe in terms of the packaging as well, but the price point, you guys, you would not believe it. It is super affordable. But before we get into the consistency, the formulation and all of that, the swatches. So first up, we have the shade number 01, which is of course clearly too light for me. It would work for someone of a very light skin tone. And then we have the shade number 02, which is again I feel like very similar to the previous shade, maybe a tad bit deeper, just a little bit more peachier as well. And then we have the shade number 03. So this one is not as pink toned as the previous shade. So this has a subtle neutral undertone to it, but not as pink or peachy as the previous shades. And then we have the shade number 04, which I feel like is a little bit more on like the neutral olive tone to it. And then we have the shade number 05, which I'll be swatching on this side because I think, yeah, it gets a little bit deeper than the previous shades. So this is the shade number 05, which I can see this work for people of light medium skin tones, I feel like. And then we have the shade number 06, which is ideally the shade I have been using, but I have to check out the other shades as well from this range so that I can like make up my mind. This is the shade number 07, which when swatched this thick might look a little bit light, but once I blend it out, it actually matches my skin tone pretty well. And 05 and 06, I feel like don't really have much of a difference in terms of the depth as well. And then we have the shade number 07, which is more like has a little bit more warmth, more caramel. So this would work for people of medium tan skin tones or medium tan. It is a little bit on the orange tone for my skin tone. And then we have the shade number 08, which is of course much deeper than that shade that I swatched. So this is the shade number 08. This would work for people of like much deeper skin tones, I feel like tan or deep tan skin. When I spread out the shade 07, I feel like it is looking a little bit orange. So I would stick to my usual shade, that is 06, and show you guys like a demo of it. So I have taken off all of that foundation, prepped my skin again with the primer, and then let's start off. So on this side, I'm going to be using a sponge, and on this side, a brush. So for sponge, I'm going to be using the Mars Cosmetics sponge itself because they make one of the best blenders. I mean, they're really affordable, really nice and squishy sponges. So I'm taking the shade number 06, and you guys can see this is the consistency of the foundation. It is pretty thick. It's not a runny foundation by any means. And also it's said to be a high coverage foundation, so you would get it on a thicker side. So applying just the right amount on this side and taking the sponge, squeezing out all of that excess water. There's a reason I absolutely love it. Just see how spreadable that is. And this is just one pump of the foundation. So I've just used a very tiny amount of it and it pretty much covers everything on my face. So you can see just half pump. I can say it's pretty high in terms of coverage. I wouldn't even say medium high. I feel like it's high coverage. And even the sponge is not soaking up too much of product. It's just like blending it out so seamlessly. And you would expect it to look very matte, dry and cakey, but it's not. That's the reason I absolutely love this foundation. I mean, it gives you really nice coverage, but it has a little bit of a glow to it as well. Something that's not flat matte. It adds a little bit of something to your skin, and it's just beautiful. So on this side with the remaining product, I'm going to be applying it with a brush. I don't think I would need even more than a pump of this foundation. So that's how good it is. So taking a foundation brush, I mean, with a brush, you just absolutely get like full coverage. I mean, maybe the sponge side, it just looks a little bit more natural, but if you just were looking to cover your acne marks, some spots on your face, or just in general you wanted more coverage, brush is the way to go. It just blends seamlessly and gives you that great coverage, you guys. Like, I'm just impressed. My skin looks like skin. It's not flat matte, it's not clinging on to anything on my face, it's not drying my skin out, which I absolutely love, and it's giving you like this very soft filtered look as well, without any like glowy products underneath it, without nothing of that sort. I used my usual skin prep and a good hydrating primer, and this is the effect of that foundation with just these products. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be applying a little bit of concealer, blush and all of that, just to show you guys the way all of these products sit on top of this foundation, and then we'll get to the final like review part of this. So now just applying a little bit of concealer. So I'm applying the concealer just underneath my eyes because I don't want a concealer around my mouth. It's pretty much like covered everything and I don't need any coverage over there. I actually did take this foundation underneath my eyes too, and that's the reason I don't really need a lot of concealer. Some cream bronzer. Little bit of cream blush. Setting that cream blush with a powder blush, just so that we can see how powder products work on top of this. And then setting my bronzer with some powder bronzer. Now right here I have my full face done. I've used cream products, I've used powder products, both of it blends really well. There's no skipping, nothing of that sort. So I also did my eyes with the Mars Northern Lights in a Pan eyeshadow, because what other way to use it? It is a beautiful duochrome thing. Anyways, now coming to the foundation itself, I absolutely love the consistency of this foundation. So it's really nice and thick, but it's not something that is too thick where it's really hard to blend. It gives you the most beautiful spreadability. It gives you medium high to full coverage with just one pump. So you can keep it at medium coverage, just use half a pump. Or if you're someone with acne marks, or you have some scars or pigmentation to cover up, you can use that one full pump and you get you the most beautiful coverage without it looking too matte, too flat on your skin, and it doesn't look dry or cakey at all. So I am going to show you guys a close-up of my skin right now, and it's not clinging on to anything, it's not sitting on my smile lines differently, or not kicking up in different places or texture, or just sitting on top of my skin like that. It's just perfectly blended seamlessly onto my skin, and I really like this also because it gives you that, you know, a little bit of a dew, but it's not something that's luminous. It's not a very dewy foundation, but it has a little bit of a subtle glow that also gives you skin-like finish, but sort of looking filtered and an airbrush on your face. So I really like that for that purpose. So this is a foundation you can definitely try out if you have a special occasion to attend, if you're doing your own makeup and you're a bride and you want that, you know, flawless looking foundation, even in person, not just on camera. Definitely try this out. It photographs really well. So if you are on a lookout for a good full coverage foundation at this price point, which I don't think there is anything like this in the market. I own like a drawer full of foundations right here, and I don't really have anything at this price point that gives me this coverage or finish or just that airbrush sort of a look. And this, in my opinion, is comparable to a lot of high-end foundations that I own, foundations that are priced at 4,000 or above. It's just like less than half the price of that, and very, very comparable finishes. So that's the reason I have been talking about this foundation in a lot of my videos and mentioning that this is an affordable foundation that performs like a high-end product. I think with these two shades, if you are of medium tan and deeper skin tones, you can definitely find a match for yourself, because I have watched someone with of a much deeper skin tone than I am finding a shade match for themselves, looking, you know, like it blended really well and looked like second skin. I mean, it's not the most vast shade range, but it is pretty good. It just looked so good on different skin types as well. That's the reason I would recommend this foundation for all skin types, irrespective of if you're dry, normal, combination, oily skin type. And I would also recommend this for all weather conditions, because right now it's quite hot right here and it's not letting like the sweat seep through. It's not looking sweaty, and it's also not moving around too much. So irrespective of the weather conditions, you can definitely wear this, and it's also not something that is fading away very easily. So it's a very long wearing foundation. Even without setting it, it does transfer a teeny tiny bit, but without even setting it, it doesn't move around from your face. It doesn't leave like those streaks or patches. So that is something that I absolutely love. And this is not the first time I'm trying this foundation, of course, so I know how it wears, I know how it looks, and even like as the time progresses, it only just gets better. It doesn't ever really like sit differently on your face, or it doesn't turn ashy, gray, or oxidize on my skin. So I really like the shade match that I picked up, and I really like this foundation for that. Even though it is pretty thick, it doesn't oxidize to a crazy extent. Maybe there is a little bit of oxidation. That depends on your skin and depends on your skin prep and what are the products you're using, but for me, I feel like the shade just like blends pretty well. So yeah, these are the points I wanted to mention. I like the price point, I like the packaging, I like that you get a pump with this, which not a lot of high-end foundations even come with a pump, so I really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm so glad that we have these kind of foundations in the market when you're on a budget and you're like, you know, looking high and low for a good full coverage foundation that has that finish, that flawless looking skin. I absolutely love it for that. Definitely do check this out. I will make sure to leave all the product links in the description box below, and make sure to use my coupon code, which I do have with Mars, which is an affiliate coupon code, which I leave right here on the screen, with which if you shop with, you get additional discounts. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Let me know if you've tried these products out. Let me know your thoughts on this, and let me know what other videos you'd like to watch in the comments down below. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.